Your vision is flawed.
Thank you so much. This one right here is highlight number one from my attendance at San Diego Comic-Con. As soon as I saw that $7 a pop was going to get Ashley Eckstein to sign, I was like, okay, we have one person that's signing at this event that isn't a like lottery or ticketed type thing that I can attend and get signed, and I've been wanting to meet her. And you can see right there the quote says, "Your vision is flawed." And they did offer quotes for an additional price. And I wanted to, just because when I was trying to pick out what pop to get signed, I'm like, okay, I'm going with the final season, which I already did with the Darth Maul pop, and I got a quote on that one too. So I got this one to have kind of like a match to the quote that his had. His had, he's the key to everything, because she asks in the last season, what do you want with Anakin Skywalker? And he goes, well, he is the key to everything. And then like she's kind of still in the denial phase, so she says that you lie, your vision is flawed. And I wanted to kind of have that quote there on the side to kind of capture that. And she signed it in 2 different colors, which I didn't ask for, but so happy she did. She's got a beautiful signature that it always includes like that character name on it. And she signs it very big, and then orange just pops on it. And then the side with the blue also pops out a lot. Super nice. I got to also, prior to getting this signed the day before, I was able to attend the Her Universe fashion show, which is kind of, I'm not a big fashion person, but it's fun just because it's using a lot of stuff inspired by pop culture. So like, even if you're a novice, you can still attend that show and kind of be entertained by the designs and stuff. And she's a super sweet person. She had a whole like opening monologue welcoming people back after like the pandemic, and about how dark and black and white everything's kind of been, comparing it to Wizard of Oz. Very inspirational, sweet speech. And when I was meeting her, she was very nice. She asked me kind of what I enjoyed about that final season of Clone Wars. And then I tried to get a picture taken, because, you know, you got to understand that they didn't have a menu here at this at the $7 a pop booth signing area. So I didn't know like how much everything was going to cost. So when I was at the register, I just said I want a quote and a name. So they gave me a number for that, but they didn't have anything advertised as far as selfies of the table or an additional cost. So when I said, hey, could you mind taking a picture? Her handler, manager, person who probably runs the signing agency she works for, which I think is Celebworks or maybe, said, no, that's extra. And I didn't want to hold up the line, so I just said, thank you, you know, I completely understand, which I do completely understand, because people pay for that as an add-on. I just wish it had been, like, offered at the register or shown what is offered and what's not. They only pointed out that the quote was an additional charge because I had, like, the little Post-it note on the side, and I was like, cool, I'm not opposed to paying extra for that. I want that quote on the side. But funny thing is, later on, I did eventually get that selfie, because as I was exiting and the event was over for that day, coming down the escalators, I saw her standing outside taking pictures and talking to some fans, because she was still wearing the same gear from the signing, and she still had her hair with the blue Ahsoka Tano inspired stripes. I'm like, that's got to be Ashley. So then I asked her, can we take a selfie? And she was super sweet about it and did. So it was a real cool experience getting to meet her, having my pop signed, attending her fashion show. It was definitely one of the highlights of San Diego Comic-Con 2022. And if you haven't met her before, yes, she is a sweetheart. Believe everything you hear about it. People complain about price of autographs, but you got to understand, these people need to also make a living, and you strike while the iron is hot. Clone Wars is a hot property recently, and so is Ahsoka, the character. So you got to understand that from their perspective and making a living in business and all that stuff.
Sounds good. All right. Oh, and do you want the quote on the side?
Yes, please.
Okay.
She's the one that got me into Clone Wars a couple years ago.
Did you enjoy this final season?
Yeah, it was just kind of emotional towards the end, because
oh my gosh,
another perspective of Order 66 and
I know
everything at the very end, and then her realization of like that Anakin, you know, had gone to the dark side, and Maul was right about a bunch of stuff that he was saying, and sometimes having to accept those truths and stuff.
Oh yeah. Your vision is flawed.
But it's been 3 long years since we've come together in this very ballroom. I'm a big fan of The Wizard of Oz. When I was in high school, I played Dorothy in a local production, and I've always been inspired by the story and its characters. Just like in Kansas, 2020 was like a tornado that came out of nowhere. Like Dorothy, we suddenly found ourselves far away from the people we love and the places like San Diego Comic-Con that we call home. Just like Dorothy, I felt lost. Would I ever make it back home? Or was the life I once knew just a dream of a place somewhere over the rainbow? But slowly, we found a new path forward. We all came together, and brick by brick, we built our own yellow brick road. We were scared and frightened, but just like the lion, we became heroes and found our courage. We didn't know where we were going, but just like the scarecrow, we used our wisdom and our brains to figure it out. And finally, we had to help others. And just like the Tin Man, we spread kindness and led with our hearts. We made it to Oz, but just like Dorothy, we still need to find our way home. There's no place like San Diego Comic-Con. There's no place like San Diego Comic-Con.